Piper. What does the name Piper mean? For decades, Piper has meant the Piper Cub. This is a Piper Super Cub, vintage 1976. It's a rather special Super Cub. It's the 99,999th Piper airplane ever built.
I'm Pete Conrad. As you can well imagine, I've flown a lot of exotic craft in my career as a pilot, like the Apollo 12 spacecraft we took to the moon and back. But flying the Piper Super Cub is always a special treat. And this is the very first Piper Cub. Do you realize that a version of the Piper Cub has been in continuous production since 1934? That's longer than any other airplane in the history of aviation. I soloed in a Cub similar to this one many years ago. It's important to realize all that was good in the first Piper Cub is a part of the heritage of the new Super Cub. Handling qualities, structural integrity, versatility. That's what's the same. All the other features have been improved upon over the years. In fact, that's a capsule definition of Piper's attitude towards its own history and its commitment to new ideas, new airplanes, and new standards of quality for the future. More than anything else, this first Piper represented the embodiment of an idea, of a philosophy expressed by Mr. William T. Piper himself. Mr. Piper said that his company was to dedicate itself to the task of designing and building the most airplane for the dollar, that every Piper would be designed and built to high standards of quality. This Piper measured up in every way, and in addition, it's the direct ancestor of 100,000 other Pipers, which all share the same Piper philosophy. So that brings us to today, 100,000 airplanes later. What kind of a company is Piper today? And what's happened to the Piper Cub philosophy? Let's join the festivities and find out. The man speaking is Piper's president, Mr. J. Len Helms.
100,000 airplanes later. What kind of company is Piper today? What has happened to the Piper Cub philosophy? I'm happy to tell you that it's alive and well, and a living part of every airplane which bears the name Piper.
Piper airplanes have been first in the industry with several technological innovations. For example, it was Piper who first put production line air conditioning into its light single-engine airplanes. Piper engineered an automatic landing gear, and even though it virtually thinks for itself, it's simple in design, easy to maintain, and economical to own. The Piper Pawnee. The first mass-produced airplane designed specifically for the agricultural market. Piper led the way with autopilot systems for light single-engine airplanes. The simplest gives the pilot easy-to-use roll and heading control. The most sophisticated in the larger Piper twins provides full flight director capability. Every Piper autopilot is designed to reduce pilot workload. Piper pioneered light twin development and has sold more light business twins than any other company. Today, Piper builds the fastest-selling light twin in the world. Why? because the Piper Seneca II is the most airplane for the dollar. Piper Navajos have set the pace for business travel. But when the task at hand calls for special characteristics, Piper Navajos have the features, the capacity, the flexibility to do the job. Elgin Long, a 25,000-hour Flying Tiger captain, brought his Navajo to Antarctica during his record-setting solo flight around the world. In spite of some of the most difficult flying weather on Earth, the Piper Navajo performed just as Captain Long required. The Navajo deserves its reputation as a dependable, high-quality airplane. Piper is the leader in counter-rotating engine installations. Counter-rotating engines make Piper twins even easier to handle. The dedication to heritage and philosophy, so apparent in Piper airplanes, is present in the Piper Company as well. Today, Piper is a company of 5 plants, including the corporate headquarters here at Blockhaven, Pennsylvania. Altogether, about 5,000 employees share in the pride of building quality airplanes. Piper engineers are among the best in the industry. They work constantly to make every Piper a better value. Piper has developed a number of sophisticated production and quality control procedures, which are all designed to provide for continual quality and reliability improvement. Piper is involved all over the world, not only with an international sales and service organization, but working intimately with government officials to develop general aviation in other countries.
This, then, is the Piper Aircraft Corporation of today, proud of its accomplishments, confident of its future, loyal to its heritage to design and build the most airplane for the dollar. That's the common thread shared by every Piper airplane, from the very first to the 100,000th. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is with understandable pride that I present to you the 100,000th Piper airplane, a Piper Cheyenne. Thanks a lot. Tom, that was a good show. Real fine thing. Thanks again. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Nice to see you. We'll appreciate it.
Pete, the pressurization's set, and I've gone over the checkoff list. Looks like we're all set to go. You ready?
I'm ready over here, and I'll back you up on the throttles.
Okay, here we go.
The 100,000th Piper. Quite an accomplishment. But its significance lies in the progress it represents. The progress between the first Cub and the Cheyenne. But that amount of progress will be duplicated again and again, and it won't take another 100,000 airplanes to do it. The Cheyenne is a modern, high-performance airplane, but it's still a Piper. It's the most airplane for the dollar. The Cheyenne grew up in this philosophy, a philosophy which grows with every Piper airplane built, right up to today. Today is only the interval between the past and the future, and the Piper of tomorrow will be different, improved to make it better. New designs and engineering concepts will carry on the philosophy and continue to offer the buyer the most airplane for the dollar. Piper airplane, engineered for excellence, built for value.